This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On the Air.
Welcome to What's News Dunedin, brought to you by DOS Turkish Cafe, the radio show that spawned from the 24,000 plus strong local Otipoi to Dunedin What's News Dunedin Facebook group. The group that's been putting the social back into social media since 2020 with respectful adult debate and a sense of humour. I'm your host Richard Knights. On today's show we're talking to our wonderful guest Sarah Gallagher, Director of Library Services, who'll be telling us a bit more about themselves and what they do, as well as helping us look back at the post that generated the most interactions over the past 7 days on the What's News Dunedin Facebook group. Those posts this week are a seriously severe flu season we're having with deaths reported, Opportunity Party holding onto kingmaker status in many of the recent polls that we're having as we approach the election this year, and the exorbitant cost of mince. Welcome to the show, Sarah.
Kia ora. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming along at short notice, because we did have another guest planned for today, but you've stepped into the breach.
Happy to.
Thank you very much for that. And that guest, Charlie Unwin, will be back sometime in the future, so we won't miss him. We'll just reshuffle him into the deck.
Delayed gratification.
Absolutely. So we'll look forward to speaking to him when he gets here. Now, if you've listened to the show before, or you're a member of the What's News in Facebook group, and I believe you are, we have a Pun Day Monday. So we have a Pun Day Monday post where we ask our jokers in the pack to come and bring their best dad jokes, puns onto the page, and then whoever gets the most laugh reacts that week gets their joke brought on the show on a Friday. Right? Nothing more technical than that. There's no more science involved than that. However, we will see whether you laugh or you don't laugh, whether the joke comes off the page into the spoken word successfully. Okay. So the pun of the week this week is: the invisible man went to hospital. They had to put him in the ICU.
Oh.
It's a
I get it.
It's a joke, isn't it? It's one of those.
It's mostly laugh on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good though.
I love a good pun.
Yes.
I just enjoy those kind of jokes. Now, before we get involved into the serious stuff, which is talking about the news and then also talking about your good self and all the wonderful things of the library, we do have our 3 pop questions. These are my questions that I ask my guests every single week when they come in. I believe they get under the skin of the people, to give my audience basically everything they didn't know about someone in 3 simple questions, right? There's not been scientifically proven either. It's just the thought that runs around and bounces around inside my skull. So, first question, cream teas. Okay, so where you have a scone, then you have jam, then you have cream, and you got to decide. And I'm always wary when I've got a guest in that's a friend of Jill Bowie's or Kelly Campbell's, because they sometimes prime my guests before they arrive to give me the wrong answer. So I'm walking into this one with trepidation, if I'm going to be completely honest. So scone, you got jam, you got cream. What goes on the scone first?
It depends.
Depends.
It depends,
okay.
Right?
It's a bad start. Go on.
Okay. Depends on 2 factors.
Go on.
Might depend where you are.
Okay.
And I know that there is a Cornwall in a Devonshire, in a Devon variant, right? But I think it really depends on which cream you're using. Because if you're using the thick one, which is more like butter, then it makes sense for the jam to go on top.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. However, in New Zealand, we usually have the fluffy cream, right? So usually in New Zealand, one would put jam down and then cream.
I don't know if you saved yourself or not, but that last bit is the right answer.
I just think it's important to qualify both options.
I love the fact that you've chosen a scientific methodology, because I'm all about the science. I love the way. I love the fact that you have taken that time to explain your thinking and the variations within your within your experiment. But either way, it's still jam and then cream, right? So I'm just putting that there because that's the Cornish way of doing it. That's the Cornish tea.
Yes.
And the fact you brought that Cornish, you knew about Cornish and Devon. I'm colour me impressed, right?
Okay.
So, but yeah, the way Devon does it. Heathens.
It's not your cup of tea.
And I do like a cup of tea. Like cup of tea with my scone is every step of the day. Every time is absolutely fantastic. So, but clotted cream, the thick stuff, that's you still just slather that on top of the jam. That's just like an inch high.
Really? But it would kind of look gross, I think.
It's how it tastes.
Yes.
It's how it tastes.
Both are important.
Yeah. So, like, if you can't, the other side of it is, if you get cream on your nose, when you're eating it, that's fine. You get jam on your nose, you get a sticky nose, right? So it's like cream on the end of your nose is easy to deal with. Jam, you're trying to get rid of that for the rest of the day, right? And then you got, like, especially if you're in Cornwall, then you got the wasps coming at you, and then like it could go downhill very quickly.
It could become a situation.
It could, and we don't want that for anyone.
No,
exactly. So that's see what I'm saying.
I do. I do.
Can I ask? Did Jill and Kelly warn you before you came on?
Oh no! I've listened to many of your shows.
Oh, well, this is good.
I was well primed. I've been thinking about this for a long time.
They had someone come in. I can't remember who it was. Again, it was a friend of a collective, friend, and they delivered the wrong answer so deadpan.
Yeah.
And then they let blab. That it was that Jill had told me that Jill had told them to tell it the wrong way.
Classic.
But they delivered it across it was like, and I just believed them, and I was so sad.
Oh.
But not. We're all good. Moving on. Right, we'll just not dwell.
Yeah.
Second question: Who is your favourite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
Leonardo.
Yeah,
because he has the katana.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I used to be a fencer.
Right, I'm with you.
Yeah. And
katana being a short sword.
Yep. I didn't use katana.
No.
I fenced foil.
Yep. Not the epee?
No, I didn't fence epee.
Because there's three types of fencing swords, isn't there?
Epee, foil, epee, and saber.
Saber.
Yes.
Are you impressed that I know anything about fencing?
Oh, yeah. Do you watch it on the Olympics?
No.
No,
we once talked about doing it at school, and it's for whatever reason, it's stuck in my brain. I've never done it, but we had a teacher in my primary school that wanted us to learn how to fence, and all I've got that one where you sort of like turn your wrist down and parry, and then there
parry
was
riposte,
and then there was a circular parry where you went round once and then you did it. And why I remember that, I've never picked up a sword in my life.
Yeah.
But that's what stuck with me. But one of our teachers.
Yeah. So the swords vary, but also the target area varies as well, depending on which sword you're using.
Right. Okay. Because the saber's the one that's actually got a bit of width to it.
Yeah. Well, it looks like a pirate sword. It's got the basket, and then it's got it's got a flat blade.
Right.
Whereas the foil and the epee are a bit more similar. I could be wrong there, but they're kind of more square and tapering off to a point,
right,
with a bobble on the end of it.
Bobble on the end to stop, so you don't take someone's eye out.
Unless you're fencing electric, in which case it's got a little push button on the end.
Oh,
yeah,
technology, eh?
Yeah.
So you know when
you have to get clipped on. You wear a little lame vest.
Know when you've had a hit, or when you haven't.
Yeah. So if it hits you on the target area, then it registers on the Technology may have moved on. It's been about 30 years since I fenced.
That's good. It sounds better than VAR, which is what they use in football, the video referees, and they get it wrong anyway. Even though they've got the set technology, they still stuff it up. But that sounds like it's technology for the right reasons. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so Leonardo.
There's no wrong answers with the turtles.
Yeah. So, and also it came out at a pivotal time for me when I was a young person, because I played Dungeons and Dragons and Toons and things like that. So, and the Ninja Turtles started out as in a role-playing game, I believe.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah.
I know they came out as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Then everyone got a bit upset with the ninja connotation. They changed it to Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Yeah, that was. And then I'd moved on by then.
And then they changed it back because they were still doing all the flips and the twists and the fighting with the swords and the nunchucks and all that kind of stuff. They were still doing the ninja stuff. So they thought, oh, we'll stuff it. We'll just put it back in.
Yeah,
we'll put it back in the name because that's what it's all about. Third and final question, and this one's a thinker. So, would you rather only be able to take 3-hour-long baths or 3-minute-long showers, no in between, right? So you've either got 3 minutes in the shower or you've got 3 hours in the bath.
Oh, I'll go with the shower. I'd get bored.
Would you?
Yeah.
You'd get cold, wouldn't you? I think if you'd have to, there'd be a lot of renewal of water, wouldn't there? Like in 3 hours.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like more effort than just having a quick shower, doesn't it?
Yeah. No, shower in the ads. That's my motto.
I don't think I spend much more than 3, especially because I've got no hair. I don't spend much more than 3 minutes in the shower anyway. To be completely fair. Yeah. So I think I could squeeze it down to like 3 minutes, maybe forego the hair wash because there's nothing there to just let the water rush off my bald head, and then just go and be out and done in 3.
Yeah. Agreed.
No, fair enough.
Done.
Go with that one. Yeah. So let's go. We're done. That's the important stuff, right? Okay. After this, like everything else is downhill from this point forward. So, but you've done the complicated bit. So let's go back and talk about the news. We are in the middle of a very, very nasty flu season.
It's scary.
It is scary, nasty, absolutely. And we're seeing lots of stories in the press about rammed EDs, ambulances, highest number of call-outs in ambulance, like sort of serious high numbers of ambulance call-outs, not just on a Saturday night, but like literally almost every day of the week for prolonged periods of time. We've had some deaths mentioned, and this flu has hit people really hard. One of the things that I've struggled with genuinely is the resurgence of the anti-vax kind of commentary that's kind of circulate we had through COVID, right? The flu vaccine is not a new vaccine. The flu vaccine is not a rush vaccine. The for all the things that people could sort of like criticise the COVID vaccine for, which I'm not saying necessarily were factual, but were at least legitimate, kind of could be considered as legitimate concerns, right? We got it quickly. The flu vaccine is something that's been around for many, 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 many years.
It has been, yes.
And has been proven to seriously reduce the impact of flu season. But what I'm seeing, what we're seeing this season is obviously is pretty big, and people are dying. But what I'm not seeing are people wearing masks. What I'm not seeing are people. And what I'm still seeing are people going to work. People turning up. We had someone come to work the other day coughing and spluttering. You're kind of going, I'm self-employed. If you make me sick, I can't work. That's my job. Like, you make me sick, I can't earn money, right? Because I've got no one that can pick up for me. Because what do I do? Where's your consideration? Where you don't know if I'm vulnerable, immunocompromised. You don't know if I've got a baby at home that could be far more vulnerable to the slight sniffle that I've got is a serious concern for someone else. Yeah,
it's interesting, isn't it? Like going through that whole period of time with COVID and even after it, for quite some time when things were relatively back to normal, people were still very aware, very conscious. I think it always amazes me how quick we are to adapt. We can adapt quickly to change, like, no longer having plastic shopping bags or needing to wear masks or whatever it was that we needed to do at the time. But then, equally, we're often really quick to revert back and forget really what it was like and why it was important to not only take care of ourselves, but remember that by taking care of ourselves, we're taking care of the people around us as well.
Because the Japanese do it perpetually, don't they? As I've noticed that as a nation, they're a nation of mask wearers. They were that way before COVID. They're that way after COVID because actually they were doing that before. They're actually quite germ conscious.
Yes, and I think some countries that are really heavily populated also have problems with pollution as well, and so often people will be wearing masks for that reason.
Yes, so it's just an added benefit.
There's much higher density, living. Yeah. I haven't personally seen any kind of negative commentary, and I haven't caught up with. I've seen, heard that there have been some deaths, which is really tragic. And I heard that, it's the worst flu season in 10 years. I have not got it yet. I did get vaccinated. My husband got vaccinated. My daughter didn't get vaccinated. She did get flu. Right. She's okay. We did get one of those, you can buy them from the pharmacy now. It tests
the multi-tests.
RSV, flu and COVID.
Yeah.
And, my daughter had used that, and so we could identify. Yes, in fact, she did get influenza A. So it was good to know. But
I've had the flu. I get the flu jab every year, and have done for years and years and years. Touch wood, I've never had flu.
Really, it is horrible. And when people say
apart from
they've got
flu,
a cold,
I've had man flu.
Yes,
which is probably the worst variant of flu on the planet. I mean, literally, like, I
know, but you don't get the sympathy when you have man flu.
Well, Matt, I've marked myself safe from man flu on Facebook, right? I've worn that badge. That's a badge of honour. I've genuinely never had flu, and I'm really pleased to say that I haven't. I hope that continues because I'm not great when I'm sick. I'm a horrible, horrible patient. But I've had bad colds, and I know they're bad colds, but I've never had flu, but I do know people that have, and it is not something.
It's certainly not a cold.
No,
people
exactly.
often use cold and flu synonymously, and they are not the same thing. You can get incredibly, incredibly ill.
Yes,
and
and I think the message is still the same. Like, to people, if you're sick, stay home. Like, and people go, "But I've got to go to work." Yeah, some people do. Yeah, but then also mitigate that if you do have to. Put your mask back on. Right, no one is going to be upset with you for going and saying, "I've got a bit of, I might be a bit germy at the moment. I'm going to try and keep that to myself." Right?
Yes.
It's an indication to others that that's the case. So you kind of stand to people, look, I'm a little bit germy, stay away from me. My daughter's home with it's not the flu, with a sore throat at the moment, and we've got to go to the doctors this evening. But they'll put a mask on, because ultimately they just don't want to take that germ outside the house, and they've already said that to me this morning, and I'm kind of going, that's the kind of thinking that we kind of need, because no one's sort of saying stop your life, don't but actually show some consideration. Start washing your hands a bit better, those kind of silly things, right? That we did so well when COVID was around, and we kept it at bay for so long. These things work, right? It doesn't matter what the germ is.
Yes.
Like, if you genuinely wash your hands properly, you keep your coughs to yourself, you keep, you're not sitting there breathing on other person's faces or food or whatever, and you stick a mask on, it's amazing how much that can minimise the transfer to other people. And just it's about giving some consideration to people. Yes, that's right. Absolutely. Yeah. And when people are already tired and stressed and stretched, looking after each other is really, really important. It is. That's the thing. Look after yourself. Look after others. And then if we do that, we have a society where actually we can get about and maybe not have so much stress in our lives. Now, and we're going to talk about some stress in our lives in the third topic, which is the cost of mince and the cost of living crisis. But before we do, Opportunity Party seem to be holding kingmaker status in the current polls. We've got the election coming on. I think it's the 7th of November. Yes. Everyone needs to get enrolled by the 25th of October this year because they've changed things slightly, and that's been really interesting to read about. Yeah. It feels everything feels punitive with this current government, unfortunately, and that's the struggle, right? Is that it feels like they're just trying to stop people. Any government. All government should be encouraging people to vote, should be doing everything they possibly can. In my mind, this is Richard Knight's opinion. Yes. In my mind, should be doing everything they can to get people A, engaged in politics, B, willing to enrol and willing to vote. Then you start throwing up barriers, you've got to get it done by the 25th. We used to be able to do it literally on the night of the election. So if you woke up, if you literally been in your own space for all the time and you got to the 6th of November and you woke up and went, oh man, there's an election tomorrow, you could still vote, right? That's democracy to me. Not actually, well, you missed a boat. Like, there's still 3 years. You're going to wait again. 25th of October, mate. You should have been there. And to me, that's again. So I struggle with the changes. I also struggle with the fact that the governing party, forget the flavour, that the governing, whoever they are, coalition, can make those changes because they're the governing party with a simple majority. Those kind of changes to electoral rules should be, every party needs to be, in my mind, every party needs to go, yes, we'll or super majority. Yes, we agree with that, because then that way, even the people that are in opposition are kind of going, we agree with those changes. Have you had Andrew Geddes on the show before? No, but I have spoken to Andrew when I've been when I've sat in for the morning show for Jeff. Right. And he comes in on a regular basis and talks to Jeff Harford on the Awesome Morning Show, and I have spoken to Andrew. It's good to get his take on that. It would actually like to get him in for. It's not that we're not known to each other. Yeah, but it's one of those things. To me, it's like no government should be able to change the rules about how you get elected on its own. Like it should be cross-party support, and then if there's 7 parties in government, all of them should at least be able to go, yes, we agree, or no, we don't. And if there's not a supermajority, which means you've got some of the opposition, then it shouldn't. You shouldn't be allowed to change it because potentially you can change it to benefit yourself. Well, that's right. And it disadvantages a lot of people. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Opportunity are now come out. They've suddenly polling over this 5% magic 5% threshold in MMP in order to get seats around the table. and can become the kingmaker that Winston Peters has historically been for the last two flavours of government, at least, except the majority Labour one that was there. Any thoughts on that? Because I'm kind of like, my thoughts are, I'm kind of like, it would be nice to see someone different in the mix, right? And also not Winston Peters deciding who gets power, because I think I just personally, I think he's just one of the worst politicians. I think politics could do without him. Right, genuinely, because he's proved he's a racist. He's just genuinely nasty, and he's been doing it for too long. Like someone who's that kind of career in politics, I don't think is doing it for the right reasons. But again, that's my personal take on that.
Yeah, I think having an alternative in that pivotal position is a good thing.
I also like the fact that National said they won't work with them, but I think they might change their mind if they have to.
Wow.
Because, but again, it kind of sort of solidifies perhaps the left-hand side of the centre of politics, because it's very much a left-centre, right-centre thing. It's not like no one's out there on the fringes. But it will be interesting to see whether that mentality changes, or they start rushing around to make them their best friends.
Yeah, I'm reserving judgment until I can read more about them.
Yeah, some of their stuff seems to make sense to me. Like
yes.
I've had David Bainbridge-Safar, who's in Canada, on the show, and I also mediated an online webinar thing for David and Q. So I've spoken to them about. I'm not an opportunity supporter, but I thought this, like open mind, and I'm a floating left leaning, but it's all about the policy, not the party kind of person.
Yes,
that's how I kind of see myself. And some of the stuff they said to me, without digging too deep under the surface, actually seemed to be sensible.
Yeah,
and about we, not me. That's how I kind of grade my politics. Like, if a policy is about we rather than me, it tends to meet favour with me, because actually I'm all about, if we can help everyone, then everyone helps everyone else.
Everyone lifts everyone else up. Yeah, yeah. I'm the same. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing, I'm hoping that the policy.nz website, which I think is brought out through the spin-off, that tends to be really good. Have you seen that before?
It does, because
you sort of put in your values.
Yes.
You put in you can read all of the values of the candidates and the parties, but also you can put in your own values, and it gives you an unbiased view of where you sit against party policies.
Yeah,
yeah.
They're normally pretty good.
Can be quite surprising.
I've used that before.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Mince.
Yeah.
What is that all about? I mean, I know what it's about. It's like you get big chunks of meat and you grind it up and you make small pieces of meat, right? And then, but mince used to be like one of your kind of go-to, like your cheap and cheerful protein, right? If you couldn't afford to buy beef, because it is beef, if you couldn't afford to buy like a piece of steak or whatever, you'd get yourself a mince. You'd make a spag bog. You'd make a chili con carne. You'd make whatever. Now the cost of living has hit us so damn hard. The price of beef mince is something like $25 a kilo.
It's an outrage.
It's mad. That's the stuff. That's supposed to be the stuff that what's left over almost. It's like that's the bit the bits and offcuts, and you make mince, and you go, let's have some mince.
Yeah, I've just generally got a problem with how much our food costs. How much we produce, how much gets wasted.
Yeah.
How much we get charged for it. I mean, this is very much personal thing. And I can. This is not an ad for Wonky Box, but we subscribe to Wonky Box in my family.
Yeah.
Which is a like one of these food box services.
Yes.
There's loads of them around. This one uses food which isn't pretty enough to make it to the supermarket.
So yeah, you wouldn't arrive in your Hello Fresh box because it's ugly.
Yeah, and it doesn't come with lots of packets of stuff.
Right.
So it doesn't come with recipes. It's just seasonal New Zealand grown produce, which looks a bit wonky.
Right.
Yeah, might be a bit smaller than the size that they would want to export or go to the supermarket, or it might have you might get some twisted carrots, or
I'm not sure you could beat a twisted carrot. It's
yeah,
it's like,
but really good quality, and you can also get wonky boxes of meat.
Right.
And again, it might be a slightly weird weight or a slightly smaller cut. But that has been fantastic.
Right.
Can highly recommend. And I've got a hot tip for making mince go further. Lentils. Brown lentils.
Brown lentils.
1 cup of dried brown lentils cooked magically turns into 3 cups. And if you mix some cooked lentils in with mince, you don't taste it, but it makes it go further.
Do you really not taste it? Because lentils do have a certain, like if you do like a dal curry or something.
Well, yes, so I think if you were going to, but if you put it in with mince, and say you were making a spaghetti
just
bolognese or bulk it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grated carrot too.
Grated carrot,
That's one I use.
Definitely.
In my spag bog to kind of make it go go further. So, but I just find it. I was literally thinking about it this morning because like COVID was the advent of online shopping for me. Like when it comes to online food shopping, order my food, go and pick it up, right? And I do that now. So straight after this show, straight to not count anymore, Woolworths, and my order will be waiting for me. I pick it up and away I go. Right?
Click and collect.
Click and collect, right? Because I hate walking around a shop buying food because I buy double. Because I shop with my eyes and my tummy, and I'm the hungriest person on the planet, so I love my food. So
always got to eat before you go.
It doesn't make no difference to me, Sarah. No, it doesn't make any difference. If I just see something that I think that looks good, it goes in the bloody trolley. Yeah. Anyway, when I first started doing my online shopping, so we're only talking 2020, I was roughly averaging about $150 a week. That's $250 now.
Right, and you're buying the same items.
I'm a creature of habit. Like, I'm literally almost buying the same stuff week in, week out. Like
That's incredible.
But it's gone from $150. Toilet paper. I remember I used to get toilet paper. I don't know why I remember this. $8.50 was a big pack of toilet paper, like the 3-ply. Not decent toilet paper. I haven't changed my taste in toilet paper. I've always been a 3-ply kind of guy. And $17. That's doubled in price. Like
how many rolls do you get for that?
You get quite a lot of rolls, but I'm just saying it's actually they're the long ones. It's like it's a 12-pack of long rolls, right? Right. So it's not like I'm not saying, but that same 12-pack of long rolls was half the price.
Because the
6 years ago.
Yeah. Because there was a manufacturer here in the South Island, wasn't there, and they closed down.
Was that? It was not Cotton Soft because they're still open, aren't
they?
Oh,
are they still open?
Soft
I thought they closed. Okay.
You still
we
get
I do a bulk order.
Right.
For a company called Small.
How can you bulk order through someone called Small?
I know.
That's an oxymoron.
It is an oxymoron.
Yeah.
It is an oxymoron, but it's good, and it's made out of sugarcane waste.
Okay.
For toilet paper.
Yeah.
Comes in a big box, lasts for a quarter of the year.
Does it taste sweet?
Haven't tried it.
Would it bulk up the mince?
Potentially. I don't think I'll go there.
I'm just putting it out there.
Desperate times.
Do not, anyone listening, do not take cooking tips from me. Please, that was just if it suddenly appears on stuff, someone in hospital because they mixed toilet paper with their mince after listening to the radio show. That was serious. It was just a joke.
It was
It was a joke. It was designed to make Sarah laugh, and that was it. It goes no further. But it is the cost of living is just stupid.
Yeah.
And then your electricity bills going up through the roof. Everyone's and all this, and then you see every week. Millions of profit. Like the Gentailers, the Meridians, the Genesises, they've all made record profits, and you're going off the back of people that you're pushing into poverty. Countdown, Woolworths, Pack and Save, massive profits off the back of people you're getting pushing into poverty. Like we've got so much food poverty in this country, we've got so much energy poverty in this country, and then he's got these companies just literally and then it's being reported in the news. Makes me so bloody sad.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be honest, like joking aside, like we are pushing people further and further into the depths of poverty.
Yeah.
So that someone else can line their pocket with money that they with more money than they probably know what to do with.
Yeah, it's really distressing. It's really distressing.
Totally is. Yeah. I'm going to move on. I will move on from the depressing news. I'm going to talk about something fun and exciting, which is your good self. But before we do, we'll get a quick word from our wonderful sponsor.
Dost Turkish Cafe serves authentic Turkish and Middle Eastern food made with love right in the heart of the city. Kebabs, shawarma, loaded fries and more, all made fresh to order using quality ingredients. Their family recipe falafel is a favourite, and they're the only place in Dunedin serving their popular cheesy baked potatoes loaded with your choice of fillings. Generous portions keep people coming back for more. Dost Turkish Cafe, just up from the Octagon at 15 Princess Street. Dine in, takeaway and delivery.
Have you eaten at Dost?
No, I haven't.
You're in the library. Your library's just there. Dost is just literally...
I know. I might go after the interview.
Yeah, I've already had lunch, but I'm always tempted. Like, it's just they're good people, good food. I like the mixed meat, like sort of wrap.
Okay.
Just it's just juicy. It's just
yum. Well,
enjoyable.
look, I'll go after this because I need to eat.
Yeah, it's quality food.
Yeah.
and some lovely people as well, and that's what makes it even better.
Yeah,
you know. So let's talk about you. I introduced at the beginning of the show, Sarah Gallagher, Director of Library Services. Perhaps maybe start with telling us what that's all about, but also you can talk to us about Library Week, because we're on Love Your Library Week.
Yes.
Just so happens. So you can talk to us a bit about that. Give us the 5 minutes Cliff Notes version of Your Good Self.
Sure.
And know that I've called the name of this show Shhhhhh, just because
It's such an old library trope.
I know, because the libraries aren't quiet.
I know you're just doing that for a reaction.
I am.
Yeah,
I am.
No libraries aren't quiet, especially South Dunedin Library.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what exactly. People say I shouldn't be going to the library because I'm too loud, but I
know everyone's welcome at the library.
Exactly.
Yeah, everyone.
So give us the 5 minute rundown on this.
Okay, so I am the Director of Library Services for Dunedin City Council, which is a pretty awesome job. And I've been in the role for a bit over a year. I came from Heritage New Zealand, where I was the area manager for 3 years, and before that I worked at Heritage New Zealand being a assessment advisor, so I was researching historic places. But my background is in libraries, and I've got a Master's in Librarianship from Victoria University of Wellington and a Master's in Classics from the University of Otago.
Oh, let's stop you there. I was supposed to give you 5 minutes to talk about a Master's of Librarianship.
Yes, Library and Information Studies.
So I know we can have degrees for like lots of different things, but what is that? Something like that involved? Because like that to me, it's just like peel the lid off that and kind of go, what's inside that? Like a degree like that?
Yeah, well, I think it's changed quite a lot since I did it, which was sort of 25 years ago. But at the time, it was you could do it over a couple of years, or you could do it part-time like I did because I was working full-time. So it took me 4.5 years to get it. And you do a variety of different papers, so some core papers that would look at specific aspects of librarianship like collection management and leadership and service and reference and things like that. Yeah. And then there would be some elective papers. So the ones that I did that I absolutely loved were really about the history of the book and print culture.
Okay.
Because I was very keen to get into working in special collections, and I always had a love of museums and galleries and art and that sort of thing. So because I was specialising in libraries, I was interested in moving into that kind of space. And then I did a long essay, like a mini thesis. Yeah. So it's a sort of it was a papers-based master's program, sort of for a professional course.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So now you're Director of Library Services. What is your day to day? What do you do on when you're not sort of coming on the radio and talking to people like my good self? What does that involve for you?
Well, quite a lot of meetings, working with my management team. So you'll know Lynn. You know Lynn Veer?
No, can't say I do.
Yeah, Lynn is our manager of the City Library and the South Library.
Okay.
And we have Fiona, who's our manager of collections and access. So she's the manager of the things we buy, how we look after them, all of our IT, and also our heritage collections as well, our amazing, important heritage collections. And we have Irene, who is our manager of outreach and community. So that is our community libraries. So Waikouaiti, Blueskin Bay, Mosgiel, Port Chalmers, our book buses, and our home services. Do you know about our home services?
No.
Home service is really important. It's been going for a really, really long time as well. Like the book buses have been going for 76 years.
I'm aware of the book buses because
Yes.
out in Brighton, where I am, the book buses came to the school every Tuesday,
Yeah.
and I've got a bookworm.
Yes.
One of my children is a bookworm,
Wonderful.
and is librarian at their school as well. They're,
Yes.
they're at Queen's, and they go in. They're stopped. They won a prize for being the best shelf stacker, and they're looking at winning a prize this
That's
year.
where I started.
They're looking at being a prize this year for being the best, like, damn right awesome human being in the library ever. I think that I'm giving that name to it, but I think that's what it is. But anyway, I'm slightly biased. So I'm aware of the book buses. So what's the home service? Because that sounds interesting again.
Yeah, well, that's a really special service for people who are housebound.
Okay.
Yes, so they'll have a chat with one of our library staff, either on the phone or the library staff member might go and visit them and find out a bit about them and what it is that they like to read. And then they'll curate a collection for them.
Oh, wow.
And then we have volunteers who deliver those books to those people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's more than just, I'd like to borrow a book, please, and I decide what book I want. Book arrives, go and collect the book, bring the book. This is
for people that can't leave the house.
Can't leave the house.
They can't leave the house, so we take books to them.
That's fantastic.
Or our volunteers take books to them. Some of our staff do. Quite a few council staff volunteer as well, which is really wonderful. There has been, during COVID, we set up and I say we, I wasn't there at that time, but there was a click and collect service. And I think there are a few people who still use that. The home service is available through, so we've got little outpost in Mosgiel, and I think Port Chalmers might do home services as well, but the bulk of it is based at City.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also do get well bags for kids who are homesick, so their parent or caregiver can get in touch and we can sort those out. Yeah. There's actually insane how many different things that the library organises.
Well, that's what I was just about to touch on, because I want to talk about, obviously, Love Your Library Week as well, because that's where we're sitting in the middle of Love Your Library Week. But I have to admit to something here, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want this out into the ether. I don't think I've ever borrowed a book from a library and taken like a proper library and taken it and given it back. Right? I don't think I've ever done that. That's not.
We can help you with that, Richard.
Yeah, but that's not me, right?
Yeah.
Certainly when I was at university, borrowed books from the library, used the books, took the book back, that kind of stuff. But as a 21-plus-year-old adult, I don't think I've ever checked a book out of the library, right?
Do you read magazines?
No.
Or look at magazines?
No.
Do you like music?
Love music.
We have CDs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. This was the thing I was going to get to, right?
Yeah.
Is what I was warming into was that actually there are so many services in the library that I've mentally chosen to preclude from my life, which I probably shouldn't have done, because I'm a big reader. I mean, I've got a Kindle. I read a lot of stuff, right? I genuinely do read a lot of books.
So you buy books and download them to your Kindle. Did you know about?
You're going to tell me about the library free service. I know about it.
Yeah. Do you just need a hand setting it up?
Maybe.
Because we can do that. Yeah.
But this is the thing. This is the point I'm making here. Like, is that there are and you as a city, we're providing this service free of charge, right?
Is absolutely free, and people are paying for it.
People are paying
rates.
for books. Like I download a lot of books. I don't necessarily always pay for everything, right? So but there's things. I have bought books. I've paid a lot of money. I've spent a lot of money on physical books in my lifetime, right? Far more than my library membership, which is free.
Yes.
And then yet I'm still sitting there kind of going, I don't use the library. And there's something, I don't know what it is. There's a mental gap between me understanding that I absolutely should use the library and I can put that book on my Kindle and me doing it. So what do you say to idiots like me that admit to stuff like I've just admitted to?
I would say we can help you get set up with the library app and with BorrowBox, which also has an app. So BorrowBox is the service that we get all of our e-books. So electronic books, e-audio books as well, and e-magazines and e-newspapers. So we can get those through another service called Press Reader. And we've got this fantastic library app that we only just launched that you can access these things through as well. You just need your library card and you put your number into the app, and then you can also save your card into your electronic wallet on your phone. So then you don't need to worry about forgetting your library card if you need it. And those apps kind of end up talking to each other. But we've got there's another service. We've got some things that you can watch as well, like Beam Film and Biblio Plus. So, and I guess it kind of leads on from our talk about the cost of living, because if you're needing to really assess your budget, and if you're someone who has streaming services or, buys newspapers or likes to buy magazines, do check out the library, because we've got such a huge array of holdings. We've got newspapers. We've just subscribed to a service called Newsbank, which has got...
I saw that.
Yeah. So, for those locals, we have the ODT. We have loads of regional newspapers as well. It's all free to you.
Yeah.
You can access it via the app or via our website. Again, you just need to plug in your library card details once, and then you should be sweet.
So how does... You might not about to tell me, but I'll ask the question anyway.
Yeah.
How does that work? Because one of the things that as I'm running the What's News Dunedin Facebook page, one of the biggest things that I've fallen foul of is ODT.
Yeah.
And ODT have come at me legally, strongly, if someone ever shared an article that was behind their paywall.
Right. Yeah.
But I can read their entire newspaper for free through my library membership, which I do, right? So I read their paper for zero investment from me. Yeah. Through the Newsbank, right? So I use that service, right?
Oh,
so,
good to hear you using it.
I do,
yeah.
and I was reading it this morning, right? Because you can't look at their paywall stuff online, so I look at it through my library stuff.
I do the same.
Yeah. So, but how do you manage? Are you paying a massive subscription in the background for that? Is that what you're doing on our behalf?
Well, we're paying. Yes, we are. Yeah. So we are part of. So through the Department of Internal Affairs, there are 4 different services that we subscribe to.
Right.
Okay. So there is one called Kortui, and that is basically our library management tool. So that's our catalogue and the back end infrastructure, and for how we manage our collections. Okay. There's Tapuna, which provides us with catalogue records and interloan infrastructure and all of that kind of stuff. That means we can borrow stuff from libraries and lend stuff to libraries for their people when they don't hold that stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so that's Kortui, that's Tapuna. There's APNK. So that provides free Wi-Fi to all libraries that subscribe to it across the country, and hardware, so Chromebooks, Chrome stations, and our printers and scanners. So we basically hire those through them. And then the other one is Epic. So Epic has got that's a service that we get through DIA, and they have scores and scores and scores of different electronic resources that they have as part of their stable, and we can pick what we want from that, and each of those things will have a price. But Epic is so not just public libraries, but academic libraries in New Zealand and also school libraries subscribe to things through Epic. But it's the power of buying as part of a consortia that makes it cost effective. If we were to go out and do this ourselves, well, some of the stuff we just wouldn't be able to get anyway, or we couldn't afford it. So this is us making really good use of ratepayer money, picking things that we know people want. And, the publishers that go into these agreements with the companies like Newsbank or Press Reader or it might even be with Epic, they will be coming to an agreed price for that service to be able to provide that content on to users like us.
Right.
Yeah. So it's all I've had a lot of people worried, worry for the ODT that, oh my gosh, this can't be good for them if it's available for free. But, they've entered into an agreement with a business to
get paid whatever they get paid.
Well, that's right.
That's a commercial. That's commercially private. But that's what they're getting paid.
Yes, and I don't know anything about that side of things.
No, exactly.
I
wouldn't ask you because I get that. But that's how it works. Because I sit there and I scratch my, I'm scratching my head because every member of the Dunedin, everyone that lives in Dunedin. Potentially has access to what we've just spoken about.
Yes, they do.
If they choose to take it up.
If they join the library, and it's free to join the library. You don't have to come into the library to join. I know that can be a barrier for people.
No, I didn't come in to join.
Yeah, so you can join online, and that gives you digital access. And then if you want to come in and you just need to bring in some ID, then you can get a card.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's quite straightforward. Yeah.
So many more questions, but before we do, get another quick word from our wonderful sponsor.
Dost Turkish Cafe serves authentic Turkish and Middle Eastern food made with love right in the heart of the city. Kebabs, shawarma, loaded fries and more, all made fresh to order using quality ingredients. Their family recipe falafel is a favourite, and they're the only place in Dunedin serving their popular cheesy baked potatoes loaded with your choice of fillings. Generous portions keep people coming back for more. Dost Turkish Cafe, just up from the Octagon at 15 Princess Street. Dine-in, takeaway and delivery.
Yep, definitely still hungry. Talk to me about Love Your Library Week, because sitting here talking to you, and I've admitted quite categorically that I'm not a library user, and I really, by the sounds of it, I really should be. I'm starting to love my library more than I am, and it's one of those things that it gets a lot of noise in the whole ratepayers, waste of money, this much money, how much money we spend conversation, because it's obviously a service that is actually provided to everyone for free, right? And it's a valuable service, right? And I think people would suddenly realise how much they're missing if it disappeared, right? We've got a fantastic library in this city, and fantastic, and with the South Dunedin, But often you hear with the ratepayers, they're going like, it's a waste of money. Why are they building another library? There is so much more to libraries than just the bricks and mortar, right?
Absolutely, yes. So we've got some measures that we, in the council's annual plan, that we, we've got some targets that we meet. So, for example, the number of programs that we run and the number of participants. So we I think we ran over 4,000 different programs in the last year. And
4,000 programs in the last year?
Yes, I know. It sounds like a lot, doesn't it?
It sounds incredible.
For 6 libraries and 2 buses. Yeah,
wow.
Yes. And about 29,000 people participated in those different programs and events.
Okay, so
yes.
If I do my math, that's well over 25%. About 25% of the population of Dunedin have been involved in something that the library has run in the last 12 months.
I think a lot of people would be surprised how many interactions people would have with the library. Like there's a residents' opinion survey that the council does, right? And so we've had our highest satisfaction rating in the last 10 years at the end of this financial year, so 93% satisfaction. We have about 56% of people who visit the library have visited at least once in the year. We also do we're part of PLNZ, which is Public Libraries New Zealand. That's the Association for Library Managers, and every year they do a community impact survey which talks about it sort of articulates the value and the impact of libraries. And I can share some really interesting stats from that. We because you'll hear people saying, "Oh, libraries, they're not just books." I don't mean that to sound like it devalues books. our book stock is incredibly important. People are still, 84% of people that come into the library are coming to the library to take out physical material.
Right.
However, our electronic issues have continuing to increase.
Yeah.
The access to e-news particularly is going through the roof. I find that really heartening in a society which is, it feels like misinformation, disinformation, and is sort of dangerously rife.
Yes, I agree.
And where we have your site excluded, people use social media to deliberately mislead and misinform.
Yeah.
I'm really heartened to see that people are coming to the library and using verified news sources for free that they can get through us in multiple different languages.
You say verified news sources. I was looking on Newsreader and the Daily Star was on there.
Ah.
And the Daily Star is a cheap rag from the UK.
Okay.
Used to have the boobies in it. You know, it's one of those ones.
Page 3.
One was like the Sun and the Star. They used to Star was page 7, Sun was page 3. Don't ask me how I know that because I haven't got a clue. Other than the fact I was a paper boy at 12 years of age. But so. I hear what you're saying, and I'm saying this as tongue in cheek because of the fact I was impressed by the breadth of media that was available, even in a quick squiz this morning.
Yeah,
you got stuff from China, you got stuff from America, you've got stuff from India, there's literally in that catalogue. There is, if you can't find a newspaper that you want to read, you're not looking hard enough. Yeah.
And also, there's lots of different ways that you can consume that media as well. You can read it, but if you have different needs, if you need it read to you, we've got lots of accessibility options for people to use, not only our website and council's website, but some of these services as well. So there's dyslexia fonts and all kinds of different options to make things more accessible.
And technology has certainly brought that ability to the fore.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Library Week because we're going to run out of time. I told you we're going to, and we're literally down to the last 3 minutes of the show. So
really?
Yeah, I told you it would fly by. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes.
You just didn't know you were having fun. So talk to me about Library Week.
Library Week has been great. So it's been running from the 24th, so the start of this week, until today. It's really just about celebrating what we do and asking our wonderful public to let us know how they feel about the service that we provide. So we asked people to, we've got some little post boxes around our libraries and some of our old postcards that used to be produced, and people are writing lovely notes to us, and also haiku, which is appropriate because today is National Poetry Day. So we've been getting wonderful things posted to us, and I'm enjoying going down and checking the postbox every morning.
What is a haiku? Yeah. I know it's a poem which has does it have a distinct number of syllables or something?
It does. It's 575, but it is also, and I should have said haiku-like or because we're not requiring people to for it to have something to do with nature, which is a tenet of haiku.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah. But so we've had a number of events and things on as well. So there was a wonderful talk by Jonathan Howard from Heritage New Zealand about Seacliff on Wednesday night.
Okay.
And we had Donald Murray speaking last night, who is he's the current fellow with the Centre for Irish and Scottish Studies. And
these would have been free events?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Wow.
I can't even think of an event that we've had in the last year that has required payment.
Okay.
Everything we do, we make as accessible as possible, free, welcome to everybody.
That and if people are listening, that's the thing for me, that I know that my library is free.
Yes.
And yet I still don't engage with my library, and that's on me. Like that genuinely, I feel that's on me. But I'm going to walk out today and engage more with my library, because and I think other people should be doing the same, because I think people don't quite realise what a service that you actually run for us.
I guess The library is a place where you can come into the library and there's no expectations of you aside from, being kind to people. You can just sit down in a chair and relax.
Yeah.
We have plenty of people who come in and all they do when they come in is they use the jigsaw puzzle table. We have people come in and they will meet their book group there. We have people come in who will join the poetry circle on Friday nights, which is run by the Octagon Collective. We have people coming in, getting help, using their technology.
And that's where I've got to stop you. I told you we're running out of time.
That's been so great.
Thank you
we'll
so much.
We'll have to do it again.
Absolutely, we will. Thank you so much for coming in. If you just sit there while I ran that show, thank you very much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Well, that's a wrap for this week. Thank you for tuning in. I've been Richard Knights and you've all been wonderful. Remember, if you're looking for robust, respectful adult debate about all things local and further afield, and a welcoming online community doesn't take itself too seriously, come and find What's News Dunedin on Facebook and join our fun. On next week's show, we're talking to Malia Morris from Polyfest, and we look forward to seeing you next Friday at 12 on OAR FM. And if you want to listen to the show again or simply share it with your friends, you can find the podcast at oar.org.nz or even on Spotify, YouTube or your favourite podcast provider.
This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On the Air.